Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in again today. Much appreciated. Thank you very, very much. Today we have a story here from Start eFacts. And please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate that very, very much. Please get the word out. Share, like the video, get the word out, and feed the YouTube algorithm, please and thank you. And thanks to anybody who takes the time to watch the videos as well. You are very much appreciated, and I thank you so very, very much for doing that. Today's story, John Carpenter teases a sequel for his most iconic horror movie, and it's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Not just my favorite John Carpenter movie, but one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It is The Thing. The Thing director John Carpenter said the 1982 cult horror movie may have a sequel. And some of you may be thinking, well, it already had a sequel, didn't it? No. Technically, it was a prequel. The movie came out in 2011. Technically, it was a prequel. We'll get into that here in a moment in the story. According to Creepy Catalog, John Carpenter shared details about the future of the Thing horror franchise at the Texas Frightmare Weekend. At the event, the director was asked if the mechanic Childs was transformed into the Thing in the finale of the original movie. Carpenter did not spoil the fate of the character, but instead said that the sequel is possible. And Childs was played by Keith David in the original The Thing. And you have I have been sworn to secrecy because there maybe, I don't know if there will be, there may be a sequel to The Thing. It may be a Thing 2. The Thing takes place in 1982 in Antarctica. A group of researchers encounter an alien creature that can take on the appearance of its victims. In the finale, only McCready and Childs survived the battle with the monster. McCready played by Kurt Russell, Childs played by Keith David. However, they decided to stay in the area of the destroyed research station, risking freezing to death. Knew The Thing was released in 2011, but it turned out to be a prequel that did not show what happened to the original characters. And spoiler for those of you who have not watched either movie, who plan to watch the movies, because they are very good. I very much suggest watching both. In the prequel, at the very end of the movie, maybe right before the credits, maybe during, maybe after the credits, I can't remember at the moment, but you see the helicopter take off with the two Norwegians chasing down the dog across the Antarctic, and the dog, of course, is The Thing. That leads into the original movie, where the dog comes across the American site, of course, with Childs and McCready, and the Norwegians get killed in that movie. And on the sequel, there was the prequel. They introduced a few little new things here and there about The Thing, and that was that the Thing cannot reproduce synthetic materials, non-organic stuff like, say, fillings, piercings. If you have a metal hip replacement or something like that, a titanium hip replacement, something like that, The Thing cannot replicate non-organic material. And that was the way that some people could find out who was The Thing. If a person who had fillings before suddenly doesn't have fillings anymore, or they don't have a piercing they had before, or something like that, that's how people could tell that they were a thing. Now, in the prequel, one thing that is speculated to maybe have caused it not to be as successful as perhaps it could have been was that they originally intended to do practical effects, but the studio came along behind and put in digital effects. And if you've ever watched the prequel, whenever that happens, whenever there's a digital effect, it is blatantly obvious. And it kind of throws you off and takes you out of the movie a little bit. And originally, they used practical effects. Now, what I think they should have done was that instead of going all digital effects, they should have used the digital to enhance the practical, And that might have looked better, and people might not have been so thrown out of the movie at all, and they may have, liked it some more. But anyway, Carpenter's decision to hide the truth about Childs suggests that a possible sequel will reveal the fate of both Childs and MacReady. John Carpenter admitted back in February 2022 that he wants to make a sequel. As the director hinted at the time, there may be many secrets in the world of The Thing. The movie's open ending has haunted more than one generation of viewers. Many fans try to figure it out. And there's been much speculation about the end of the original Thing. Like, who was The Thing? Was it Childs? Was it MacReady? Was it neither? Was it both? Who knows? People speculate that at the end of the movie you can see MacReady's breath, but you can't see Childs' breath, so that means Childs was The Thing. But then people come along behind and say, no, you can see his breath, just not as good. And so that gets thrown out, and then somebody else comes along. It's speculation on top of speculation. So that people try to figure it out. People can't. People try again. It's a non-ending thing, which makes the movie, in my opinion, it solidifies it in the as a great horror movie. But there are a number of unofficial and semi-official sequels to The Thing. Comic books, video games, short stories, each offering its own interpretation. And I've read the Thing comic books from Dark Horse. If you can come across those, if you can find those, I very highly recommend picking them up. They may be a little expensive as they are, I believe, out of print. But if you can come across them like on eBay or Amazon or somewhere, or maybe if Dark Horse is doing digital versions of their comic books, I think they have an app, if I'm not mistaken. You might be able to download the app and read the comics that way, if they still have them available. But if you can find them, they are very much worth the look-see. In 2004, Carpenter reveals that he had come up with a plot for a sequel to The Thing. It was to begin with the rescue of Childs and MacReady, and the director wanted to explain the aging of the actors by frostbite. The studios were not interested in the idea. As a result, instead of a sequel, fans got a prequel. If it had been successful, there could have been a probability of franchise's continuation. But in 2011's The Thing flopped at the box office, burying franchise plans that seemed to be picking up steam again. This is from, the source was Creepy Catalog. The article was Zoe Wallace. Very well done. Very well done article. Thank you so much. So, here is my thoughts about a direct sequel to The Thing. Because of the age of Kurt Russell, and I think Keith David's still alive, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's still alive. Because of their current ages, you couldn't really pull off having them in the sequel, unless somehow you tell the backstory of where they got rescued, or something, and one of them turned out to be The Thing, and now it's years later and the survivor's still there, or they got picked up and rescued and something happens and years later they find out that The Thing is still out there, or they go back out, not them personally, but somebody goes back out to the site in the Antarctic and finds a piece of The Thing, gets possessed, and they come back to fight The Thing. That'd be the only way you could really bring back Childs and MacReady. Now, in my opinion, and this may not be popular, really popular, but both of them, if you're going to do a direct sequel, you're gonna have to go, like, years later. Somebody comes along to the site, and like a group of explorers or somebody and they find that the two frozen bodies left over. And of course, at that point, of course, both characters are going to be dead. But they take them on the boat, thaw them out. One of them turns out to be the Thing. And if it's MacReady, people are going to lose their minds. You know, if it's Childs, maybe not so much. Not for any other reason that MacReady was the one who saved the day and all this and all that. You know, and you wouldn't want the big hero to be the Thing after he, you know, did all the stuff that he did to survive and all this and all that. But then again, they could both be the Thing. Who knows? But in my opinion, both Childs and MacReady have frozen to death, or, you know, one of them's the Thing. But they have frozen to death. Somebody comes along and picks up the dead bodies, puts them on a boat or puts them in a transport of some kind, takes them to a different site where they thaw out, and one of them is the Thing. And or somebody comes across a piece of somebody else who was in the area or whatever, and the Thing takes over them. Now, it could still take place in 1982 or a few months later or something, after, you know, they've had no contact with the Americans at the site. So they send people there to investigate, and they find the two frozen dead bodies. But the age of Kurt Russell and Keith David at the moment, you cannot pull off a direct sequel with the legacy actors unless you replace the actors. That would be the only way you could do it at the moment. Now, I'm not against replacing the actors. That way, if you want to pick up directly before they froze to death, they get picked up, and, you know, that would be the only way you could do a direct sequel where both characters are still alive, or one of the characters is the Thing or whatever. That would be the only way you could actually pull that off, is to replace the actors with new actors and just call them Childs and MacReady. But I think a better version would be that they both froze to death and they get picked up, in my opinion. But tell me what you think down in the comments below. How do you think they should pull off a sequel to The Thing? Do you think they should find them both froze to death? Do you think they should replace the actors? How would you do it, in your opinion? Leave it down in the comments below. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate you all very much, and thank you so much for tuning into the video. Have a great day. See you on the next one. Bye for now.